I never imagined the day would come when I'd feel small in my own son's world. My name is Walter Briggs, born and raised in a quiet farming town in Tennessee. I've worked the same land my father and grandfather did before me. Dirt under my nails, the smell of hay and gasoline in my clothes, that's just who I am. I never claimed to be fancy, but I raised my boy right, or at least I thought I did. My son Ethan grew up running barefoot through fields, riding the tractor with me, fishing in the narrow creek behind our house. He loved the simple life until he went to college in New York. That city swallowed him whole. The country accent faded, the boots disappeared, and every visit home became shorter, more rushed, more distant. But I kept telling myself, he's building his future. Let him grow. Then one day he called and said, "Dad, I'm getting engaged. I want you to meet her." I felt joy ripple through my chest. My boy found someone he loved enough to build a life with. I didn't know that meeting her would break something inside me. I drove to the address he sent, a big modern house in an upscale neighborhood. It wasn't the kind of place where pickup trucks look normal in the driveway, but mine stood there proudly anyway. I fixed my old hat, brushed dust off my flannel shirt, though no matter how hard I tried, the smell of the farm never fully goes away. It wasn't bad, just earthy. Real. I rang the doorbell. A loud voice, sharp like a knife, screeched from inside. "The stinky country boy is here." For a second I thought maybe she was talking about somebody else. The door opened. A tall blonde woman stood there holding a glass of white wine. Her face looked like she smelled something rotten. She said loudly, "Ethan, your dad smells like an actual barn." I felt the blood drain from my face. Before I could speak, Ethan rushed to the door. He grabbed my hand and whispered quickly, "Dad, please don't say anything, not now." I looked at him, waiting for him to defend me, waiting for him to say, "Mom, that's my father, be respectful." But he didn't say anything. He just looked scared, scared of her, scared of them. "Come in," he said, forcing a smile. Inside, everything felt cold, shiny tiles, big furniture, fake smiles, hollow laughter, no warmth, no love. Her parents arrived shortly after. Her mother wore pearls big enough to buy a tractor. Her father wore a suit that probably cost more than my truck. They both scanned me like I was some misplaced object. Her mother whispered, "He brought that truck in this neighborhood." Her father chuckled. "He smells like he rolled around with pigs on the way." They laughed. Ethan didn't. But he also didn't stop them. We sat for dinner. Her name was Vanessa. She talked like she owned the world and everyone else was just passing through it. During dinner, she kept taking small jabs at me. "So, Walter, do you even own a proper suit? Are you planning to shower before the engagement party? Do you know which fork to use?" Her parents joined in. "You're a farmer, like real dirt and cows. Must be cute, like a hobby." Every word was a little cut, little insult, little humiliation. I sat there quietly, not because I was weak, but because I didn't want to ruin my son's happiness. At one point, as I reached for my glass, Vanessa suddenly yelled, "Oh my God, Ethan, look, he has dirt under his fingernails." She gave a dramatic laugh. "I can't have him walking me down the aisle like that." Her parents laughed with her. Ethan lowered his eyes. He didn't even look at me. After dinner, Ethan pulled me aside. "Dad," he whispered, "please don't make a scene. Vanessa is stressed. She didn't mean it." "Is that how she talks to stressed people?" I asked. He swallowed hard. "Dad, please let it go just for today." I nodded, not because I forgave them, but because fathers sometimes have to swallow their pride so their children don't stumble. But something inside me cracked. Before leaving, I stepped out onto the porch for air. My heart was too heavy to breathe in that house. As I stood there, I heard voices through the slightly open window. Vanessa's voice, sharp, cutting. "Why didn't you warn me your dad is so primitive? Seriously, Ethan, he smelled like soil. I don't want him anywhere near our wedding photos." Her mother giggled. "Maybe he could sit in the back row, or outside." Her father added, "He does look like he belongs outside." Vanessa laughed cruelly. The stinky country boy. I'm calling him that forever." I froze. The words hit me harder than any punch ever could. Then I heard my son, soft, small, "Please stop calling him that." "If you want this wedding," Vanessa snapped, You'll accept my standards, otherwise silence, threat, control. My chest tightened. My son, my boy, was being manipulated, controlled, forced to choose between his dignity and her approval. I walked to my truck with heavy steps, opened the door. That's when I heard him behind me. "Dad." I didn't turn around. "Don't," I said firmly. "I heard everything." He froze. "Dad, please, they didn't mean." "Ethan," I said slowly, "I raised you better than this. Better than letting someone shame your roots, your family. You stood there while they laughed at me." His face crumbled. "I didn't want to make it worse." "No," I interrupted. "You didn't want to upset her. You forgot where you came from." He tried to take my arm. "Dad, she loves me." "Love doesn't make you abandon your people," I said quietly. "Love doesn't mock your father. Love doesn't humiliate the man who raised you." He looked like the ground beneath him shifted. His voice trembled. "Dad, I'm sorry." I shook my head. "If your fiancée can't respect me, she doesn't respect you either. You're part of me. If I'm too stinky for her wedding, then have your wedding without me." His breath caught. "Dad, no, please. I love you," I said, "but I will not walk into a place where my existence is an embarrassment." I drove home, vision blurry, hands shaking. I hadn't cried in years, but that night I cried like a boy. 3 days passed. No calls, no messages. I tried to work, but the fields looked lonelier than ever. Every row of crops reminded me of the little boy who once followed me barefoot, asking endless questions about seeds, tractors, sunsets. Then one evening I saw headlights in my driveway. Ethan stepped out. His eyes were red, his hair messy, his clothes wrinkled. He looked broken. "Dad," he whispered, "I ended it." I stood there frozen. "She wanted me to uninvite you officially," he said. "She said if I didn't, the wedding was off." My heart pounded. "And?" I asked. His voice cracked. "And I told her if my father can't walk into the room with pride, then I don't want to walk into it either." Tears rolled down his cheeks. "She told me it's her or you," he swallowed. "I chose you, Dad." My knees nearly buckled. He fell into my arms, sobbing. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I let them insult you. I let them treat you like nothing." I held him tight. "Son, you didn't lose her. You saved yourself." He stayed home for a while, helped me on the farm, worked with his hands again. The city polish faded. The real Ethan came back, the one who knew the smell of earth, the rhythm of nature, the honesty of simple life. Slowly, the pain faded. One day at the farmer's market, he met a girl named Emily. Sweet, kind, warm-hearted. She didn't care about money or appearances. She loved Ethan for Ethan. She loved me too, genuinely, gently. The first time she visited, she said, "Mr. Briggs, your farm smells like home." A year later, when Ethan proposed to her, the first thing she said was, "I'd be honored if your dad walked me down the aisle." On the wedding day, under open sky, fireflies glowing around us like tiny lanterns, Ethan took my hand and whispered, "Dad, thank you for not giving up on me." I squeezed his hand. "Never, son, never." Being a country boy isn't something to hide. It's something to be proud of, a legacy, a foundation. And my son finally understood that too.